communicate with while I'm explaining the ads. So just I'll basically treat you as if you understand it, then most likely everyone else does. And if someone doesn't, then you can just drop a two in the chat. But for now, let's get straight onto it. This call every single week is just about mindset. And just giving you a few tips here and there from what I've noticed over the past week that maybe some people have struggled with. So maybe if I could give you one or two mindset tips, which inshallah helps you really take the action over the next coming week, and then you lead to actually getting the results. Everyone here on this call is in phase 2, attempting to get their first client. So it's very, very normal to be confused, potentially uncertain, because this is something completely new for you. Number 2 is all you have to do is focus on mindset on this call. So do not worry about anything else. Let's just focus on mindset and really making sure that you're fully prepared for the upcoming week to inshallah take the action that you need to do. Intentions for this program are number 1 is helping and supporting 1 million orphans in third world countries at the moment. And someone asked me this question, how many have we done so far? And it's around 50 to 60. I don't really keep track, but it's very expensive because I'm doing it through this third party. And what I'd ideally like to do is go to Pakistan, because that's where I'm from, and do it myself, and at least get the basic needs done so that I can branch out to more and more kids and get to that 1 million mark very quickly. And number 2 is make this program the best place for Muslims to start a halal business. Not there yet, but inshallah we're improving by 1% every single week. Now, today's topic is the 80-20 principle and making the time. Now, number 2 would be LinkedIn funnel and ads. That's more of the tactical side and a bit of tips that you could potentially use over the next coming week. What is the 80-20 principle? This is something that I've been using since I've started business. And it's probably the biggest thing that has helped me get progress very quickly, is understanding that not everything that you do or everything that you are doing during the day makes the biggest impact. Meaning, first step is actually understanding what is it that you're wanting to do at the moment. For all of you on this call, the biggest thing that you're aiming for is getting your first client, which means the 80-20 means that 80% of outcomes is only from the 20% of the inputs, as in 80% of the total wealth in the country comes from 20% of the people. 80% of your total results during the month only comes from 20% of the actions. So this really does apply with everything. There's a couple of different laws like this, like Price's law, etc. I won't go too much in detail with that. Mainly just this one, because I feel like this is basically 20 with what we're doing right now. But basically it means prioritizing tasks. Focus on tasks that will have the biggest impact. So for example, Adam has an exam coming up on Tuesday. Now, I don't know what subject it is, but I can guarantee that there are certain chapters that if you were to do or put more attention onto, or certain actions that if you did more attention onto, it will yield a better result, or it will kind of equate to you getting very good results in your exams. So meaning when we were doing GCSEs or A levels, etc., the 20% would be doing practice papers, because that is preparing you for the exam itself. So the more practice papers you do, that is the 20%, meaning that the prioritization of those action steps will then lead you to getting a better result, and in the least amount of time. So meaning for us right now, with the goal in mind of getting our first high ticket client as quick as possible, the 20% is basically doing the calling and the outbound systems and booking as many calls as possible. So the biggest difference between people who are successful or people that are in the struggle bus for all their lives is successful people focus on intention and ignore distraction. Meaning that essentially successful people understand what their clarity of goal is, and then they know what the 20% is, and then they ignore all the other noise, the 80% that really won't lead them anywhere. But what a lot of unsuccessful do is because, number one, they don't even know what the outcome is that they want. They don't know what the 20% is. So you're basically most of the time just focusing on distraction, thinking you're being productive, but essentially you don't get anywhere. You feel like you've been working hard every single day. Your whole week is packed, but you look at the end of the week and you've literally not achieved anything. Like I was getting a haircut the other day, and my barber, and I'm not throwing shade at him, I'm just give you an example of what I notice a lot of people doing is just focusing on just completely irrelevant things. He was just telling me a story of how he parked somewhere, and because he drives like a 2014 E-Class Mercedes, someone just commented, "Ooh, someone's bougie," or something like that, something stupid. And he got so affected by it that he was telling me about it. Oh, people are so nosy and this and that. What is wrong with you? Who cares? I wouldn't even like acknowledge that. Like, okay, cool, and just move on with what actually matters in life. So how I was doing all this, like, the outbounds and working through my social anxiety, and I used to have stuttering. I really couldn't actually speak the way I actually had to make sure to do the calls, etc. Because there's some issues that I dealt with in childhood, which led me to that. So the way I did it was I knew exactly what my next step was. So as in for you guys right now, next step would be getting your first client, and then after that would be using that money to put into ads and then scaling, and then you get your third client, fourth client, and then fixing delivery and making sure everything's outsourced. So it's step by step. So knowing your next step, not thinking about 2-3 steps ahead, but the way I did it was I knew what my next step was, and then according to that, my calendar was like a map to get there. So this is very interesting that, if you look at it, your calendar, the things that you just open up your Google Calendar, whatever you look at, your calendar, the things that you're doing on an hourly basis every single working day is the map. So it shows you if you do those things, then it will lead you to getting a certain result. So whatever is happening in your life is because of that calendar. So what I did on my calendar was I scheduled in certain things. So for my anxiety, well, to be honest, I couldn't really do anything about anxiety. I just had to go ahead and do the action steps and just get over it. That's, to be honest, I'm not giving anyone advice. I'm just saying that's exactly what I did. But for the stuttering and speaking and practicing that, I used to schedule in, like, I think 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes to go into my garage so no one can hear me. So I can just speak on random topics, recording myself. And I just kept doing that until I got just a bit more efficient in speaking and didn't completely mess up every sentence. And then working a job, and then there's certain times which all of us probably have, like there's this certain time that you do the work for your job, or if you go out for your job, exactly, okay, this much time I'm going to be working on the job, and then family time. What a lot of people consider family time sometimes just goes to waste. Like, I know some people have kids, some people have other responsibilities, but it's like, a lot of people I notice, they just spend 2-3 hours just sitting down with their kids doing nothing. Or when on the other hand, quality time and spending time is very different. So if you spend an hour, really being present with them, doing whatever activities with them, taking them out, something, but making sure that you prioritize other things as well, that eventually will lead you to having more time with them and basically having better experiences. One of my mentors, he's 63, so he has a lot of insight for me when he says that it's not about how much life you've lived, it's about how many experiences you've had in that life. So point being, I know you feel like you're very busy, family responsibilities, all that stuff, but it's about, again, 80-20. What's the 20% of family time? Actually being present in the moment and having quality time, having a solid experience with them, and then having that, 1 or 2 hours for that calling and doing outbounds, and knowing that this will lead me to actually eventually getting those results. So you're probably also thinking like, okay, cool, awesome. I still feel like I have no time during the day. Every minute is scheduled. So what do I do? Step 1 is awareness. I really don't believe that, you don't have time in the day. I seriously don't believe that, because there's presidents running countries. There's 9-figure CEOs running 100 million companies. Like, how did they do it? They just know they're 80-20. They know what matters, what doesn't matter. Stop thinking about drama, unnecessary drama, like this person said this, or watching movies. And again, referring back to my 63-year-old mentor, the thing that he says, and it's so brutal, because him at his age, he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care if he hurts anyone's feelings. He says that you're broke and you're watching movies. And he says, you're broke and you're watching movies. You're broke and you're watching what do you call it, football games. And the football that he's referring to is American football, like pigskin being thrown around with grown men wearing shorts. So he says, kind of getting things into perspective. Forget about distractions for this season of your life. If you're trying to make some sort of progress with this, forget about all that stuff. focus on intention, do what you need to do to actually get to your next step. So awareness is the biggest thing. So what I'd suggest you do is, if you feel like you don't have any time during the week, is just track for 2 days or even one day. Just see what exactly you're doing from the time that you wake up till you sleep. What did you do each hour? And you realize like you really haven't achieved much in the day. It's just because of lack of clarity with number one, what you're doing or what you need to be doing as well. So this is one of the best exercises that you could do to know, okay, this is where my time went. So it really isn't going towards anything productive. I'm really not doing anything, even though it feels like it. I really, really feel like you should try this just for 1 or 2 days. Good news is we're going to talk about automation, but before we move on to that, I'd love to see ones or twos in the chat. One, if you're with me so far. Two, if something was confusing or if you want me to go back to it. Is there any twos in the chat? Oh, I see the ones.
How do you chat?
It's just it's the thing, that it says message. Okay, cool. I see plenty of ones. So Nasir, if you don't mind, can I use you as someone to communicate with live, so then we can make sure that everyone will keep track. But let's talk about the LinkedIn funnel. Now, LinkedIn funnel is the best funnel outside of no, I'm not gonna say the best funnel, but basically one of the best funnels is cold calling, and then the next one is IG, and then number 3 is LinkedIn. So the best funnel after IG. So the reason for that is, let me share my screen. I'm not sure if everyone here has seen it, but the LinkedIn funnel is on the secondary systems. So essentially, the idea behind LinkedIn funnel is that does everyone see the screen? I'm sure you guys do. Yeah, cool, you do. Now with the LinkedIn funnel, the whole idea is that it's an automation software. So Walaxy, we're using Walaxy. Now what Walaxy does is it basically connects with accounts, 100 accounts a week. Now LinkedIn a couple of years back, it didn't have a limitation, so you could send unlimited connection requests, but now it has a limit of 100 a week. So essentially it does that for you. Now every time someone connects with you, then they check out your profile, and on your profile you need to have your offer statement guarantee. This guarantee is basically something that differentiates us from literally everyone else, and it differentiates us from being commoditized. Commoditized is basically someone saying, hey, I get this, okay, cool, you do lead generation, where can I find this cheaper? Now if we target more of what they're actually desiring, and go towards their dream, then they feel connected to us, and then they're curious, like, how do you do that? And then they check out the rest of your profile, or actually engage with you on the chat. So they will check out your profile, they'll connect with you, and after they do connect with you, what you then do is that I've given you the script and explainer videos here. I could make this better, but this is something that we kept on the side, but I'll put more focus onto it if you guys start to enjoy and use it. But anyway, they connect with you. This is the connection message that you send, very short, simple. And then basically this video says, hey, I really appreciate the connection. If you're interested in, and this is not mentioning the guarantee, it's basically saying it lightly. Hey, if you're interested in getting more clients, if you're a realtor, shoot me a thumbs up emoji. So very small thumbs up emoji, and I'll send you the next step on how exactly we do that. They send the thumbs up emoji, then you send a VSL, or basically a short video saying, hey, appreciate you clicking on the video. Here's what I do. I help realtors get 10 new deals, blah, blah, blah. If you're interested in jumping on a call to learn more, shoot a thumbs up emoji. And then you send your Calendly link. Or ideally in this stage, I won't add the friction of Calendly link, because you need to make it very simple and easy for people to do. So I would just simply ask them, hey, I have Tuesday 2 p.m. or I have Wednesday this, so they can just pick that. Just make it as easy as possible for people to actually book in. So these are 3 steps. Now between that, some people might leave you on red, but that doesn't mean they're not interested. People's lives get in the way, and people just are like that. So you have to do a follow-up sequence, but I've given that to you as well. So this is pretty cool, low effort. And I made my first 2-3K from this LinkedIn funnel as well. So it works very, very well. So we can go through this in more detail if you'd like to, but I feel like I've made it very, very simple. It's very easy. Now, we've covered that. Let's go on to basically running ads. Now, I don't recommend you guys doing it, but I was thinking the other day, it's going to happen eventually. I'm going to be the one doing it. The whole reason why I don't give it to you right now is because just confuse you, but I'm going to give it to you. Do it, don't do it. But all I'd say is please don't start asking me questions right now when you're phase two on how to run ads, because it's just going to cause chaos for me. Because I know, okay, because I get overwhelmed very quickly as well. That's why I have everything structured. I need to do this, this, and that. And then the ads running part and all that stuff I'll cover for you when the time comes. So let me just explain this. And Nasif, whenever you're ready, let's just have this conversation going so we can kind of direct people on how exactly you do this from scratch. So Nasif, essentially, you go on Meta Business Suites. Step one, Meta Business Suite. On there, for you guys, because you haven't connected your Instagram, you will see Connect Instagram. Very simple, just log in, connect the Instagram. After you've done that, that means your Instagram is connected to the Meta Business Suite. Then you're going to go on Ads Manager. Ads Manager is basically technically just letting you guys know you can run ads through here as well, but so there's two types of ads. And to put it simply, I'm not going to go into the technicals. There's one that you do from Instagram itself, the platform, and then one you do from Ads Manager, which is basically the more technical way of doing it, where you can use Facebook ads and the rest of the platform as well. But this is more simple. I don't use this because it's not the best when it comes to results. So you go on Ads Manager. So let me share the screen for Ads Manager. So Nasif, that makes sense so far?
Yes.
Perfect. And then when you're on Ads Manager, you'll have to click on Create Campaign. Once you click on Create Campaign, you're going to click on Engagement. The reason we do engagement is because I am the guy for message ads, because you've all seen my ads, you've all found me on my ads. Every single penny, apart from what I made from the outbounds, once I had enough money, I put into ads, and I've never ever done anything else. So I've done YouTube ads, I've done TikTok ads, I've done Instagram ads, I've done Facebook ads. So I am the ads guy, and my most preferred one is the messaging ad, conversation ads. So where someone sees your ad and then they just shoot you a keyword, and then you have the conversation with them, get them on a call, see if you can help them, and then basically that's how you go about it. So you go on engagement, then you click on continue, then you click on manual engagement campaign. So far making sense, Nasif? Perfect. And then this first page that you see, keeping it simple, don't do anything. Click on the next page. Then you'll see this page. Now, what you have to do is, because we only want to run IG ads, you click off of this. So you click off of Messenger, which is another platform with Facebook. And then what you'll do is just select whatever budget that you want. I'm not going to go too much in detail. Do whatever suits you. Do $10 a day, $20 a day. The more you do, the faster you get to know. But don't do more than $50 a day just per Messenger ad. It just messes the algorithm up. So just do, let's say, for example, £20 a day. And then what you do is, now we're going on to the audiences. We're going to switch to original audience, because I don't like the fancy stuff. I like the old school way, and feel like you get better results from there. So what you're then going to do is you're going to switch to whatever locations that you're going after. So for locations, let's do, for this instance, we're going to do, I'm going to get this out. It's frozen. Apologies. This is great timing, isn't it? Okay, now it's working. Okay, cool. So basically we're doing realtors. So put United States, for example. Right. So we're only doing the US. And then for age, let's do realtors 25 to 55. And I'm really not, going into detail with how I'm coming up with what sort of audience we need to do and all that stuff. This is just the most basic audience that you could do. Now, we're not going to put any sort of interest, because the AI is so strong that it will see the creative itself and know who to show your ad. But you can do A and B testing, meaning this audience or this audience. For now, the foolproof way of doing just having the best hypotheses that it's going to work, it's this. So basically having this age, one location, and the no interest. And what you're going to also do is go here and click on edit and do manual placements, because we don't want to show it everywhere else. Cool. So it's already on Instagram only. Usually what it does is it clicks on here, all here. We just wanted to show it on feeds, stories. Yeah, this is fine. But yeah, if yours does happen to click on the other ones, just click off of it, click on Instagram, and click on feed and stories. Now, so is this making sense so far? Cool. 2 if it doesn't make sense. Like, let's just do a quick check with everyone else. Just drop a 1 if it does make sense so far, 2 if it doesn't. Cool. 1s. Perfect. Next step is you go on to the next step. Now we're actually going to put the image itself, right? What the creative is going to be. Then you just upload one. Actually, not from here. I've already done it before. So here's an example for one for realtors. This can be literally created from someone on Fiverr. Nothing crazy. It's just something that needs to be bold. And how you make these creatives is very interesting as well. Like the guy that was teaching me about it, you learn about the rule of thirds, where in films as well, you see the characters are slightly towards like the left or the right to make it more visually appealing, or using certain colors that more pop out. I feel like, yes, that stuff does help, but what you just need to do is your guarantee should be very, very clear. That is what does the job. That's what creates the curiosity for them to click on the keyword. I'm just going to try and click on it. No, it's frozen again. What the hell is happening? I'm stop sharing. Apologies for this, guys. Share the screen again. Cool. So basically, I just clicked on it. Now it's selected. Now the image is there. So attention, real estate agents, close 10 new deals, blah, blah, blah. So the most of the work is being done with the offer statement itself. So don't worry about the rest of it. But here on primary text, I usually and always have just put like a hazard sign and then message me. Let's do like a relevant keyword. Message me close to learn more. And from all my experience, learn more is the most effective one. So just don't need to put anything else. So here's what they will see. Message me to learn more. And on their stories, it won't move to the right. On their stories, this is what they'll see. And they'll just click on that button. And then what to message you to make them, very, very simple. All you're going to do is click on edit, take this off, and change this to close. And on here. So basically, when they click on that button, this is what they're going to see. Instead of saying, hi, please let us know, we're going to say, again, message me close to get more info. That is it. That's it. That's our ad created. And then you just click on publish. Facebook will check if it's okay, and then we'll start running it. And then the most important thing is, guys, that to get to this point of running ads, etc., because you can't guarantee that the first creative or even the ad you make will actually work the first time. Sometimes it doesn't work, and maybe you have to change the interest a bit more. You just have to tweak things slightly. That's why I'm the one doing it for you in phase 3, but I'm just giving you this example right now in case you're the type of person that can figure things out by themselves. But generally what people get caught up on is sharing my screen again. is the cost per lead. So every time someone DMs you, we tend to have like, okay, it took $10 for someone to see the ad and basically say, hey, I'm interested. Now, on a monthly basis, I get 150 to 200 of these DMs. 150 to 200 of these DMs. Now, Seth, have a guess how many of those actually then potentially jump on a call? 150 to 200.
2 to 3%.
Well, okay, it's a bit better than that. It's basically about 50 people out of 150 to 200. So it's about usually on average a third. So what people get too caught up on is, hey, we're getting very, very high cost per lead, or it's been $20 and we've got one lead. Sure, yes, ideally that isn't great, but one of my ads that's very bad with how many followers it gets me or how many messages it gets me, but it's made me easily 20, 30K. So it's just like you're judging things from the end. You know how, again, going back to calling as well, like, oh, this person says you're a scammer, I don't need this, and I'm not interested. It must not work. Judge from the end. Have you done enough? Or have you done the 100 people spoken to? So judge from the end. So what we're looking at is CAC, customer acquisition cost, or ROAS. How much have you spent and how much have you got? So for my ads, before I know if an ad set is working or not, I spend about 600 USD because I can keep spending that and I'll be okay. On a monthly basis, this company, Sierra Consulting, we spend about 21K, 22K Canadian a month on ads. So I'm comfortable with that because I know the system does work. But to get to that point, you have to know, okay, I've done the groundwork of knowing, okay, I have that mindset through cold calling that, okay, judge from the end, booking those calls. And once you've got that 1.5K to 2K client, then you'll put that money into ads so that if it is 500 in and you haven't still closed, you're not panicking because this is my money. So it's just, that's why we do things step by step. But who knows? Like for Abdul, he spent 140 Canadian and made 1,500 back. And he's consistently getting a 4x ROAS. That's what he shared with me 2, 3 days ago. So it can work for you, it cannot. So safely, we do it when the time comes. But if you want to do it, I've just shown you exactly how to do it in the safest bet to do. Of course, this is being recorded, so you can look through it again. So a couple of things that you can try this week is the LinkedIn funnel. There's ads if you want to run it alongside the calling itself. And I also explained the 80-20 principle and how crucial it is knowing that, okay, this is my 20%. This is what actually will get me to my goal as quick as possible. And this is the 80%, which does not matter. It's just noise, just nonsense that just drags me away from what is actually important in life. You know, it's so unfortunate. Like a couple of people, they send me these Instagram reels of just these interesting videos of fun facts of what's going on in the world. I do not care about that. My health is not where it needs to be. My religion definitely isn't where it needs to be. My business isn't where it needs to be. Why would I care about the random stuff happening in the world? Although I do sympathize with the important stuff, but not just random things. I just won't accept that. So I really would encourage all of you to look at what is the noise in your life. Is majority of the day being spent on the things that actually matter? And here's a couple of easy things that I've done to actually get what I have, and not really teaching anything whatsoever that I haven't done myself. And apologies, I forgot to give you the example of how I managed everything. I put everything on the calendar. I remember this one specific day. Samira mentioned that you should give an example of how you used to fit calling and everything in with when you were working. So I remember this specific day that I had work and then I had a dentist appointment between the gap that I had with work. So I went to the dentist. I paid for 2 hours of parking because it was in central, basically town center. And I did the dentist appointment, finished it within 45 minutes. And I remember specifically, I don't know why I do, but this specific day that I remember, I had to get the work done and then go to the dentist appointment. And number three is also get the calling done between them. So that's why I bought the 2 hour parking slot. So after I was finished with the dentist appointment, I could get straight onto the calling. So it's just when you want to make something work, you find a way. There's never a point in life where you're completely out of time. It's just lack of management of time. That's the main thing. Remember, guys, all roads lead to 30 to 15-minute consultations. Income is a byproduct of action, not how much time you spent in the program, but how much action have we done? Are we moving one step forward every single week? Are we moving one step forward to the next goal, which is getting our first high ticket clients that we then go on to the automation, or we're just staying in the same place? This week, I've opened up my camera because Nasif mentioned that maybe this would be better. If it was, do let me know. If not, I'll keep my camera off. Please say politely, don't hurt my feelings, brother. Please turn off your camera. Please don't say it like that. Just let me know if it helped you or not. And hopefully I'll keep this on moving forward. And just a scale of 1 to 10 on how much this presentation helped you. 10 would be this was perfect. This was exactly what I needed. 0 would be this didn't help at all. So inshallah, would love that. Anything you need, questions wise, do let me know on WhatsApp. We do want a one-on-one at this stage. Let's get it done with Samira because she's kindly offered that for everyone on phase 2 at the moment. Let's get on to phase 3. Let's start running these ads. Let's start testing. And once these ads start running, everything changes. It's like a machine. So is any other business that you know for a very long time. It's just a machine. There's no overthinking. There's no strenuous effort being done on a weekly basis in a business. Everything is just process. This much being spent, this much you get out of it, and it's just very predictable. You want to get to that stage, but in order for us to get to that stage, you have to go through the phase that you're at right now. Yeah, I'll end it over here. Any questions, do let me know on WhatsApp, and we'll love to hear feedback from you guys on how you found this presentation. All right, then I'll speak to all of you next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.